So this one's gonna be again about not stoicism. I actually wanted to say stoicism, but it's not about stoicism. It is about being an introvert versus being shy, and also somehow, it is also about extroverts and whatsoever. Yeah. Woo! I just, I just still find it kind of crazy that I'm actually having a fucking intro or before intro kind of thing that actually a lot of people have, and is quite a common thing, and there just probably is a name to this, but I'm just having it without it actually being something like this, just because it is just the exact same episode still, or it's just the exact same kind of time framing that I'm having there. So it's just, yeah, it is literally before I'm actually starting the episode. Like, it literally is. But yeah, with that being said, hello, welcome back to the next episode of the Self-Development with Tactics fucking podcast. And I'm pretty fucking pumped as fucking most of the time. Not always, most of the time I would say. But today I am literally fucking pumped. And yeah, especially because I also see that, when I just didn't go through the episodes, when I'm just trying to cut out those certain parts that are amazing, then I really feel like, I'm actually putting out quite a lot of great stuff there, and there's actually no need for me to edit them. There's no need for me to just put extra, pretty much unnecessary time into what I'm doing here. Maybe just throughout the years or throughout the months, there has to be just the editing part. But yeah, at the time, I guess it is relatively unnecessary. Even though we've actually passed 400 fucking videos, which is amazing. Like, okay, of course, 200 of them are just pretty shit, but the other 200 of them are quite okay, I guess, are quite good. And I still also feel a little bit better of actually posting the videos and or just actually uploading them or just having them on YouTube, just because I went through them after I've recorded them, so that I actually also see, as I said before, it is actually not that shit. It really is not. Let's actually give me a little bit light. And how can you give me light, or how can I give myself light? By typing in white into Google and then having a white picture in front of me, which actually works, which is the amazing part of it. It actually fucking works. And then I'm gonna take my cap, and then we're gonna actually start the episode and already recording properly. So yeah, we have actually just finished in the middle of the fucking thing, which is maybe not good, maybe it is good, but yeah. So Anderson says, so if you're just new to this episode, if you're new to this channel as well, I'm Christopher, I'm the host, and I'm an years old graphic design student from Austria, and we're actually currently going through an article from the ideas.ted.com website. These articles are fucking amazing. You should also go through a bunch of them. There's totally something, or probably something, that you're also interested in. There's so many fucking articles, literally insane. But this is about being shy versus being an introvert. So, somehow basically what the differences are and whatsoever, it is quite interesting. And it is also quite interesting to see how people that should know shit about it, how they are thinking about this whole topic. But yeah, and it is actually from a conversation with the TED team, actually. So it's basically, I think it was for their podcast, if I remember correctly, because they have a podcast. It is also pretty good. They also just post, I think, quite a lot of shit there. Shit in terms of, not in terms of it not being good, but in terms of, okay, they post a lot. But yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna read. So Anderson says, or asks, probably, yes, he asks, let's talk about that. So we can agree that there is a large group of people who have strong introvert feelings for at least a good portion of the time. How can we be kinder to them, and what are some of the things that we can do better? And Kane says, I by the way hope that she is called Kane or pronounced Kane, because I really don't fucking know. But yeah, but Kane says, first of all, being kinder is great, and I wish that were enough impetus, whatever impetus is, but I think it is something like, okay, it would be enough of an impact or something. Momentum, propulsion, impulsion, impelling force, motive force, driving force, drive, thrust, continuing, whatsoever. But I'll give people another framework to think about. We did one study of companies and found that the majority of people believe their organizations are not harnessing the talents of the introverts, of the introverted half of their workforces. So it is really a bottom line question as well. I totally believe, just to actually give my shit to this, I really believe that, first of all, just being kind in general is a very, very, very good idea. It just really is. The thing is, I don't know, but I really kind of see and or feel like that kindness is actually not one of the things that people actually fucking care about. Like, of course, there are just a lot of people that care about kindness and they care about just being good and whatever. But I also believe that just because I believe in fucking karma, and I also believe that if I'm just a fucking piece of shit to other people, then I would just get fucked by my karma. I think also because of that framework that I just put myself into, I totally believe that, okay, just being nice to the people, just always trying to be the nicest person I can be, even though sometimes it is not possible for me, or sometimes I'm not doing it, which is not okay. I don't want to say that this is okay, but I shouldn't judge myself. Like, it is what it is. I'm a human being as well, and it happens. Like, it really happens sometimes, and yeah, I shouldn't judge me for this, and I shouldn't basically cripple myself also for just me being me, or just this happening to me. But in general, just trying it, and just trying to be a really nice person, just trying to be nice, being kind, being generous to all people around you is, first of all for you and your karma good, as I believe, but it is also just good for the people around you, and it is also good for you because people will like you more, I guess, and for the people around it is also great because, well, how many people actually want to have some negative pieces of shit around them? Like, I think nobody. But yeah, so I in general believe that being kind and kindness in general is something that's very important and something that actually focusing on makes sense. Anderson says, what's distinctive about the talents of introverted people? Kane says, there's so many different ones. I'll start with a counterintuitive one, which is people assume that introverted leadership would be less effective. But the studies that we have and lots of the anecdotal data that we see out there suggests that introverted leaders actually deliver pretty great results. The studies show that the extroverted leaders, the charismatic ones, tend to get paid more, but they're not necessarily delivering better results. So we have got a massive waste of potential of introverted people who could be really effective leaders. At the same time, there's this data showing effective introverted leadership, and there's a different pile of data showing that introverts tend to get passed over for leadership positions. I guess so, because I really assume that a lot of people assume, on the other hand, that you just really have to be an extroverted kind of person, just really be like, I'm really thinking about Gary Vee there, because for me at least, as far as I'm concerned, I just really think that he's an extroverted guy. But it's okay, that's good, because he just seems to be the case for me, even though I totally also know that he has also his moments where just, he wants to be for himself, and he wants to enjoy his shit, and he wants just to, well, actually, just being for himself is actually a good way to explain it. But I believe in this, for me it just makes sense. Like, if I'm thinking about a leader, I'm really not thinking about this kind of typical introvert that you might be picturing in your brain, which might actually be wrong as well. But I'm really thinking about a charismatic dude. The funny thing is, and also the bad thing as well, is that I'm thinking about a dude, But a girl could also just be a totally great leader. Let's actually just picture. I don't know her last name, but Susan, the CEO of YouTube, she's also a woman, and I think that she does a pretty great job. I don't know. Like, I really don't fucking know, but I assume. Because, I guess YouTube is doing quite well, as far as I'm concerned, or as far as I can actually tell. I guess they're doing pretty great. But yeah, like, it doesn't necessarily have to be a man. We all genders, no matter how many there are, we all are fucking capable of just leading a fucking big ass fucking company. We all are, And people saying like, okay, only men can. Nah, that's not true. That is really not true. Everybody can, no matter from which country you're coming, no matter what gender you are, no matter how old you are. Everyone is basically and theoretically capable of doing anything, Even though, like in terms of sports and just movement and whatsoever, older people might have a slight disadvantage because they're just old. But yeah. Let's move on. Have I actually went through the whole one there? I don't fucking know. No, I haven't. So we are not using our talent. People assume that if you're introverted, you wouldn't be competitive or ambitious, and that is not necessarily so. It is really not so. Like, why would you say, like, okay, only because somebody is introverted, why is it then also not ambitious? Like, it doesn't make any fucking sense. And that's not necessarily so. It just shows up differently. It really does. Like, especially because we all just show up differently. Like, we all just act differently. We all just do shit differently. It is fucking what it is. Like, it is what it fucking is. We all do shit differently, and that is totally fine and that's totally okay. And I think that should also be the case like this. Just because, like, well, yeah, Ted, does something, but Christina does something in a different way because Christina likes it in this way because Christina is faster and more efficient this way. So why wouldn't she do it in Ted's way if this is just not working for her? Like, yeah. Anderson says, what are the main misconceptions that people have about introversion? And Kane answers, well, there's a lot of them, but I think the biggest one probably is the idea that introverts are antisocial or misanthropic. Misanthropic, I'm sorry. And which is actually the same as antisocial, I guess, or unsociable, unfriendly, reclusive, uncognitional, unneighborly. I have never ever heard this word. Unneighborly. Well, but I just think that it is like not kind, he's not friendly or she is not friendly, and whatsoever. I think it just, leads to something like this. So most people rarely do assume that that on some fundamental level, it is not true at all. It really is about the wish for introverts to socialize differently and wanting to allow, because it is ALLOT. Is it allow? A lot? Allow? Well, I think it's allow just because I assume. Allow your social energies in very different ways from what might be conventional. And what is conventional is not really kind of good. It really is not. I think you can totally see this in advertising as well. Like, well, nowadays just things change. The conventional thing is actually having just Instagram ads and Facebook ads and in general social media ads. But I think some time ago, the conventional shit, and I guess in some what is it called? In some markets, is definitely just still the case. The conventional shit is just magazine ads and newspaper ads and TV ads and whatever it is. And yeah, I'm spitting a lot of fucking information from Gary Vee as well. But the thing actually is, we are fucking living on the internet. And if you're having a company and if you're doing shit, then actually thinking about producing content and just making ads and producing ads for those platforms where just people are. It is not really like, and this is also something that Gary Vee quite often points out, it is really not like, okay, I love the internet, I love social media and whatsoever. I love it for the sake of, it's just giving me the opportunity to connect to other people. This is great. But, there could just also be something different. The thing is, it just works. We are just living on fucking social media. It is what it is. Like, no matter how much you hate social media, no matter how much you hate Instagram, Facebook, and all the other platforms, they're just still working. That people are still living there, and I guess just things might change. Things might change. Maybe also more into the auditive, like audio kind of thing, like Alexa. People are using this more and whatsoever, just because it's convenient, I guess. And also Gary is talking about it, and I first of all believe in him, but I do not just believe shit because people say it. Like, I still just really watch the people that say shit, more than I just think about the shit that they're saying. Because it's really like, okay, if somebody's telling you like, well, even though, a good example, and I've also brought that example up before, if I remember correctly, getting fitness advice and getting health advice and whatsoever, getting health advice and fitness advice from someone who's overweight might not be the thing that you're looking for. The thing that is, as I remember correctly, or as far as I actually know, there's actually an overweight personal trainer. It is actually a girl, and first of all, I find it quite amazing, because the thing is, it works. It works for her, and somehow, she was somehow managing that people believe in what she's saying to them, and people believe in what she's telling them, and what she's doing and working on, so that they actually believe in it. She actually just got to the place where people believe in what she's doing, even though she's quite the opposite of what she is doing. I might actually look it up. Let's actually see. Overweight personal trainers. Maybe there are a bunch of them. Fat people can be fit too. In their fucking brain as well. Well, I don't know. Like, I think the thing is that a lot are just... I think there are also a lot of misconceptions about just overweight people, but I'm just seeing right now, I should not do this. I don't know. Why is it this case? The thing is, I just clicked. I do just have another screen there. I just clicked onto the screen because there I have my Chrome, my browser open, and it just pushed the whole CPU beyond any fucking thing that I know. And yeah, therefore there's just some issues with the recording and something like this, but I don't know why. I do just really have to see why it is the case. But yeah. But yeah, I guess maybe I can find something relatively quickly here. Is it acceptable for a personal trainer to be overweight? Am I too fat to be a personal trainer? The thing is, if you're really willing to be a personal trainer, I guess, okay, being obese, it's gonna make it harder. It's gonna make it not that easy. But the thing is, if you just get it to work, why not? And if it is just your deep fucking passion, why fucking not? The thing is, it is really the case that people are just able to help other people more than they're able to help themselves. It's just what it is. And I've been talking about it before, and I've been talking about this certain book, I guess it was. I totally still believe that it was from Ray Dalio Principle, but I'm really not sure. I'm really not. But the thing is, then thinking about yourself in quite a different way, which means like you or thinking about yourself as you just being another person and you just basically helping another person by helping yourself might be just a pretty great strategy to actually go around this issue of, okay, I'm actually better at helping somebody else than helping myself. Maybe you think about this. But yeah. So if you were running an organization and you wanted to boost introverted leaders, how would you identify them? What I always say to companies when I go in is, I'm sorry, just pick one person you know in your company and who you would describe as super talented, but who is not a so-called natural leader. What could you be doing to advance that person? Very often the best step is to just sit down with that person and let them know how much you have noticed and appreciated what they have been contributing. I guess, because the fact is, the fucking fact is, which is just which is amazingly fucked up. Like, if you're seeing somebody and if you're in a company and you might even be the leader of a company and or the CEO of a company, and I believe, I have never been in this position. I really have never been. I might even never be in this position. But the thing is, if you clearly notice and if you see that somebody is doing a great job, why don't you fucking point it out? Why wouldn't you point it out? Why fucking wouldn't you? It would make that fucking person stay. It would make it, especially if you're somebody that is just admired by a lot of people. Then just coming up to this certain fucking person and telling them like, you're just doing a fucking great job here. I'm really fucking grateful that you are here. It would just make this person stay. It would just let them feel like being on another planet. And it doesn't necessarily only have to be the case if you're a leader of a company or a CEO of a company, but also if you're a mother, if you're a dad, if you're just a good friend and you're seeing like your friend is just kind of having a great perfume on, or the clothes that somebody's wearing are just fucking great, especially if it's someone that you just know, especially if it's a friend of you. Just tell them, if it's a stranger, it is something different, and it is really like, okay, going up to them and just telling them shit like this, it is strange. Still doing it makes sense, especially if you're in a conversation with them. But yeah, why just wouldn't you tell them, Why wouldn't you tell them? But being honest is very, very important. Just talking shit and just because of the sake of talking, is not good. I don't like this. But yeah, so very often the best step is to just sit down with that and blah, 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 blah. And find out from them what their wildest dream career looks like 1 or 3 or 5 years from now. People assume that the quiet person is going to be less ambitious, and so you might be shocked to find out that if you really encourage the dreamy version of their career, it actually looks like quite bold. Then, once you know what it is, you can together be plotting with them. Well, how can you get from A to B? Question. And how can you help them draw on the strengths they already have? And where are the places that they can little by little step outside their comfort zone? Definitely. It is quite a long article, to be honest. Even though there's something left now. And I do feel pretty much tempted to end the episode there so that I do just have something to talk about for the next one. And this is amazing. I believe and I think that this one is quite amazing. It really is. There is a lot of information in there. There's a lot of things that we can take and implement into our days, which is amazing, which is totally amazing. But yeah, I guess that's going to be the end of the episodes. Also because I'm willing to try out what it is like to not make always or do 30-minute episodes, but rather 22, as it is right now, or 25, something like this. I'm just experimenting a little bit. But yeah, I wish you the best health, feminist, and success, and I also hope that you're going to remind yourself on how you're going to be remembered, which means your legacy, because we totally have it in our control. Like, it is in our hands, it is in your control. We can just do shit with our legacy. The thing is, in terms of being liked by people, we can't make everyone like us. It is what it is. Not everyone's gonna like us, not everyone's gonna love us especially, but we can just do our best. But yeah, with that being said, I see you the next time. Thank you very much for watching and or listening. I love you, and yeah, follow me on all the other social media platforms. Like, all the links are down in the description. Check them out, and also in the show notes if you're on the podcast. But yeah, I see you the next time, and thanks a lot.